From endless, fun-filled days to magical, bright nights. A journey through the county of Nordland in northern Norway is a unique experience. Especially during the Midsummer Festival in June. The Nordland Railway begins in Trondheim. It runs along the Trondheim fjord and past the old Viking battlefield of Stiklestad. From there it follows river valleys towards the picturesque town of Mosjøen, bypassing fjords and crossing the Arctic Circle near the Svartisen glacier. Finally it passes the Saltstraumen, a strait with the world's strongest tidal current, before reaching the terminus in Bodø.
Nidelven stille og vakkere du
Henrik Sturksen and Oya Stein Digre are singing about the Nidelva, the river that flows through Trondheim. The love song describes the old city bridge surrounded by warehouses on stilts.
It's a bit like a national anthem for Trondheim. It's an old city, but at the same time, the city centre is demographically quite young.
We can ride our rickety old bikes through town. It's beautiful and mostly flat.
Along the canal harbour is the Skansen Bridge. This heritage-listed steel truss bridge was designed by the same engineer who made the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Known as a bascule bridge, it reaches over the entrance to the huge Trondheim fjord, which in turn is connected to the Norwegian Sea. Trains from the south cross the bridge here on their way to the station. Trondheim marks the beginning of the Nordland Railway, but before our train leaves, there's still time to explore the city. Henrik and Øystein want to show us Nidaros Cathedral. The two craftsmen work here in the cathedral's workshop. Since the Middle Ages, soapstone has been an important material for carving religious objects.
It's a really exciting stone for us.
The advantage is that you can easily shape it and make fine, sharp edges. That helps when you're chiseling ornaments and sculptures.
Some pieces have stood the test of time for 700 or 800 years. But this one was carved in the 1960s and it's already very damaged. The main part of our job is solving problems that have come about thanks to decisions made during previous renovation work, like using poor quality stone that was thought to be good.
100 years ago, the figures on the west facade had to be replaced. The one in the middle is the Viking king Olaf, Norway's patron saint. He was buried on the site in the Middle Ages, making Nidaros the Norwegians' most important cathedral. His remains still lie somewhere beneath the building. But there is no consensus as to exactly where Olaf is buried.
I think it's here.
Yes, here.
We're now directly beneath the altar. If you wanted to bury a king, it might make sense to do it in this most holy place.
The story goes that there were rumors of strange things happening in the tomb, miracles. So people went to look. They say he had roses on his cheeks and that he smelled wonderful.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Because of Olaf, the coronations of Norwegian kings were held in Nidaros Cathedral. Countless stonemasons have left their mark on the building over the years.
Loads of things here.
Let's look. There's an hourglass.
Here's a cross.
And another. It might have been hundreds of years ago, but these are the symbols of people who did the job we do today. It makes you feel part of something bigger.
It's like a hamster wheel. It never stops turning.
We know how time-consuming the work is. It's amazing how much goes into creating something so beautiful.
Do you know the Nordland Nights?
Yeah, a beautiful song.
We can chisel in 3/4 time.
The song is about the beauty of summer nights in the north. And the Nordland Railway is a great way to experience them.
Trondheim signal box.
Ready to pull up to the platform.
Track 2 is free. It's nicer to work when it's light outside. The lighter, the better. The seasons are very different. Now is the lightest time. If you go north, the sun shines all day, and Bodø has midnight sun.
It's now 11 o'clock at night. A trainee and her instructor join the drivers that will take the train up the Nordland Railway.
I slept a little bit before work.
You have to be prepared, but you also have to take things as they come. You can't be afraid. Your first drive in a locomotive.
Yes, it'll be exciting.
The train sets off along the Nordland Railway, skirting the Trondheim fjord. It has a journey of 729 kilometers ahead of it, making this Norway's longest train route.
Welcome aboard the night train to Bodø. We wish you a pleasant journey.
Is it possible to get a pillow?
Of course.
Mali Rumol is the conductor for the first half of the journey.
Working at night is really nice. I get to spend a lot of time watching the sunrise and sunset.
The railway passes Stiklestad, the site of a battle once fought by Saint Olaf. Per Steinor is an archaeologist who studies Olaf. It's an exciting topic because very little is known about the Norwegian king.
More than anything else, Olaf is a legend, a myth. This pillar stands on the spot where the first miracle is said to have been performed. It happened to an old blind man during the battle in Stiklestad. He could feel something wet on his hands, and after he rubbed his itching eyes, he found he could see. It was Olaf's blood on his hands that had given him back his sight.
The Stiklestad Cultural Centre gives visitors a taste of Viking life.
Let's go.
We show people the good and the bad of society during Olaf's time.
Hold it away from you and blow.
Are you getting dizzy?
I am now.
Very good.
These boards would have been used to make a roof. For that, we'd use a plane from the Viking Age. I tried to give visitors a sense of the different crafts. People at the time could do all these things. They had incredible expertise in all sorts of areas. Olaf wanted to create a society that was different to that of the Vikings. He wanted to establish Norway as a Christian nation within Europe, but the chiefs who lived in these longhouses at the time didn't like that at all, because it meant they would lose political and religious power. I want people to realize that things are constantly changing. In that sense, they have the power to shape their world. And we show that here in Stiklestad. That's why I really enjoy being part of this story.
The train continues along the Nordland Railway, reaching the Namsen River Valley.
Can you pass the water?
It's 2 a.m. This is about as dark as the night will get.
I can feel the cold now.
Good that it's light.
The summer light helps you stay in the groove.
The train's onboard cafe has customers all night long.
We're used to it. We sleep during the day. And I have good company. Today I'm working with Marley. We make ourselves coffee and have a nice time. I love the nights. They're cozy. You get to see so many beautiful things. There's a lot of wildlife.
Namsskogan Wildlife Park specializes in Nordic animals. Malin is a zookeeper there.
In winter, when there's lots of snow, the moose like to go onto the tracks because the snow is less deep there. If a train comes, they get blinded by the headlights and don't move. Many of them die.
There are only about 150 bears living in the wild in Norway. It's very rare to see one. But the ones in the wildlife park are more trusting.
Look behind you, Björn. He's lazy, not as active as his sister. He doesn't want to do anything for his food. He just wants it to fall into his lap. I have a lot of respect for them. They're not afraid of us like wild bears are, and they're extremely dangerous. Do you want something to eat?
Norway's Arctic foxes had faced extinction.
The Norwegian Institute for Nature Research is now breeding Arctic foxes. Ours were part of the breeding program. Their numbers are increasing, but only slowly. They're affected by climate change and also the red fox, which is settling in areas populated by the Arctic foxes. If you want more, you'll have to wait till dinner. They're trusting and uncomplicated creatures. I like them a lot.
The train rushes on through the Nordic summer night. By now it's reached the county of Nordland, the railway's namesake. It passes the Vufsna River and its white water. By volume, Laxfossen is considered Europe's most powerful waterfall. Marianne Zata is one of the world's best extreme kayakers. She enjoys paddling the Vufsna with the next generation of whitewater athletes.
Water's on the decrease in Norway, but there's always some here. There are 45 kilometers of rapids.
Where's Purgatory?
Where the water's high and there's a wave in front of the rapids.
Okay.
After that comes Paradise. Shall we surf there? Then we could call it Surfers Paradise. I have a song in my head, but I can't think of the lyrics.
Surfers Paradise. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
Especially when I was young, I was really attached to the feeling of being in the moment. It's quite addictive. And accidents do happen. It's dangerous. It's a bit cheesy to call it a lifestyle, but it's like a combination of meditation, experiencing nature and adrenaline. I want to paddle my whole life.
Gangster's Paradise!
That's it.
A good song.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have Gangster's Paradise stuck in my head.
Gangster's Paradise. Tell me why are we so...
Back on the train, it's time for another coffee. At 4 AM, the sun breaks through the clouds. The Nordland Railway passes Mosjøen, Nordland's second oldest town, built where the river flows into the Fjord. It looks idyllic at night, perfect for a painter in search of a landscape.
It all began with the meeting of the mountains and the sea. The fishermen came fishing for shellfish. People came down from the mountains with meat and berries, and they traded their goods. The English were here. They had a sawmill and cut down trees. All this led to great wealth.
Stig Ove Sivertsen takes photographs, then back in his studio he paints the scenes in watercolour. His nocturnal landscapes can vary greatly depending on the weather and the exact time.
In summer, you get twilight all night long. There's a special quality to the light. This one is from 11 p.m. A typical midsummer picture. The sun comes from the north and creates a reddish light. In this one, I'm focused on the sky. There's a storm coming. The wind and weather can be fierce here. After all, we're in northern Norway. I want to emphasize that in my pictures.
Stig Ove sets off on a nighttime hike to look for more inspiration. The rain doesn't bother him. Tonight, he wants to climb at least 600 of the 4,200 steps of the Hilgelandstrappe. The stone stairway was built by Sherpas from Nepal a few years ago. Stig Ove says it's a work of art that's on a par with the Egyptian pyramids. He's going to paint a watercolor landscape using rainwater.
It's called wet on wet, which could also describe the weather.
Norwegians often talk about the poetry of the rain.
There's already water here. I didn't have to bring it with me.
The artist is interested in how the landscape shapes the experience of living here.
If you live in Mosjøen, you never see the horizon. The focus is always on the mountain. It can be hard to bear. People tell me my paintings are a bit gloomy. But painting helps with that. I can't stop painting. It's a way of being.
Time to call it a day.
Yep.
Pull up at the last sign. Great.
At 4:45 in the morning in Mosjøen, the train crew changes shifts.
It would be good to get some sleep now. The trip was nice. There were lots of people, but it was quiet. They slept. And in the cafe, there was a bit of atmosphere, just as it should be.
Atle Bråten takes over from Mali, and the new train driver settles in. They'll take the train along the second part of the Nordland Railway, across the Arctic Circle, to Bodø.
Ready to depart.
Despite the early hour, the conductor is in a good mood.
I got up at 3:30, so pretty early.
The train skirts along another fjord. It zips through the countryside at speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour. Despite the spectacular views, most passengers are asleep. The conductor has to keep track of which stations they're getting off at. With the 5 o'clock news on the radio, the train begins to veer inland. Not that many of the travellers notice. Anyone who is awake gets treated to some spectacular scenery. Meanwhile, the conductors make sure there's peace and quiet inside the carriages.
We have to keep an eye on that. Sometimes we get complaints from passengers that someone is snoring too loudly. Then we have to wake them up and ask them not to snore so much.
As the train speeds through a tunnel, not far away is a very different underground world. The Plura Valley is home to a submerged cave system that's 2.6 kilometers long. It includes a marble passage that leads to an air-filled chamber. The land the caves are on belongs to Ina Santala Jordbru. She lives here with her husband, a diving instructor.
We have the largest water-filled cave in Northern Europe in our backyard. It's absolutely fantastic to have a playground like that right in our garden. It's where I met my husband, and now we go cave diving there together.
Ina's family has lived in the remote valley for 6 generations. Her ancestors ran a small farm here. Ina is proud of the legacy she's part of. She often thinks about what life was like for her great-grandparents who lived here 80 years ago.
It's almost impossible to imagine. We're just below the Arctic Circle, and there was no road to the farm then. In this photo, you can see them washing their clothes in the river in winter. They had to make holes in the ice. Then they heated water in pots and used washboards.
Today, Ina and her Finnish husband are building saunas and other facilities to match the diving paradise below ground. The couple even got married in the underground chamber, which is only accessible by diving. The wedding made it into the Guinness Book of Records.
Open the veil.
So you see what you get.
Janne, Ina, please wear these rings as a visible symbol of your shared madness, which should have no beginning and no end. Ina, please look into Janne's eyes as you place the ring upon his finger.
Okay.
Just don't know.
Janne, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love, passion and commitment.
In return, I will give you a wet cave every day.
In return, what?
Be faithful to her as long as you both shall live.
Oh, yes, I do.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I do. Why did I say yes to this?
He won
the lottery. He got the princess and half the kingdom. That's very Norwegian.
I wake up every morning and look out of the window and I was like, how did I end up here? I must have done something right.
Together we want to build something for the future, something the next generation can take over.
There are more than 150 tunnels along the Nordland Railway, but this impressive landscape carries a painful history. Many railway tunnels were built during Nazi occupation in the Second World War, using prisoners of war and other forced labourers. When Benny Satamor takes his kids fishing, he also teaches them about these aspects of the region's history.
I hope we catch something.
Yeah.
First comes the fishing lesson.
Try to cast between the 2 currents.
Okay, I'm reeling in.
The train's coming.
I've got a big one.
A big one.
A nice trout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's mine, Hilmar's, and Dad's.
Look at this.
That's the bridge.
Yeah.
That's cool.
See those soldiers up there?
Is that from the war?
Yeah, and those other people were prisoners.
Are they working on the railway?
Yes, they're prisoners from camps. The entrance is over here.
Are these the remains of buildings?
Yes, probably. This was the prison camp. And here are a few things.
It was a little house. A door.
From a stove. The prisoners used it to keep warm.
Imagine if it still worked.
It's actually made by Volkswagen, the car brand.
Seriously?
This would have been their oven. These are the barracks. That prisoner lives there. Look how thin he is.
Because he didn't have enough to eat.
Imagine your great-grandmother crawling up to the fence there in the dark and throwing food over it.
That's nice.
And look at that bucket. Do you recognize it? Here.
Wow.
People in Norway have the right to camp anywhere they like in the wild, even on the edge of this national park, where Benne works as a ranger.
In Norway, we have a word for spending time in nature, friluftsliv. It's a composite of the words freedom, air and life. It was coined in the 18th century by the Norwegian writer Henrik Ibsen. Since then, it's come to define an entire nation.
These stones aren't perfect.
No.
A good throw. That was 6.
How are you doing that? I can't get it to work.
Kids, time for a taste test.
Okay.
Woohoo!
You can have it with bread.
I just want the fish.
Here.
Ja. Normalt sett så har de faste tider de går og legger seg.
Normally they have fixed bedtimes, but when we're living outdoors, there are no rules.
Finnes det ingen regler. I
couldn't live without the bright nights. I love how the greenery explodes in June and July.
Den eksplosive grønnfargen.
The amazing summer light here is absolutely unique. When you wake up in the night to go to the toilet, the atmosphere is really special. Usually when it's light, the world is busy. But in northern Norway, there's no hustle and bustle during the summer nights. It's a wonderful experience.
Så det ikke full fart. Så derfor så det en veldig fin opplevelse.
The Nordland Railway also passes through Saltfjellet Svartisen National Park. In the early morning, with the sun already up, conditions are perfect to hike the Svartisen glacier.
This is all meltwater from the glacier. It expands every day, but it melts even faster. Can you see the rainbow? So beautiful. What a country we live in.
I see red and blue.
I see purple and green.
Oh, yeah.
The warming climate is leaving its mark on the glacier. 50 years ago, the ice reached this point.
That's really impressive.
Wow.
We're proud of Svartisen for lots of reasons. We grew up knowing we had the second largest glacier in Norway.
It's great to see the old ice with all the cracks, because soon it'll be gone.
Wiped off the map.
This is the driver? No delays, no.
It's 7 in the morning. This is where the Nordland Railway crosses the Arctic Circle.
This message appears 5 minutes before the Arctic Circle. We usually make an announcement too, but not on the night train because we have to be quiet. The point is marked by stone cairns on both sides of the track.
The Arctic region is the traditional home of the Sami, the indigenous reindeer herding people of northern Scandinavia. Herr Ole and Nina Oskal have been told that a dead animal has been spotted. It may have been killed by one of the trains on the Nordland Railway. The government agency responsible for the railway, Bane NOR, has set up some wildlife fences to keep animals away. The fences do help, but many reindeer still die on the tracks.
It's so cruel.
Every year about 100 reindeer are killed by trains, which can't brake or steer to avoid the animals. They're the biggest danger, the thing we're most afraid of.
We sew shoes and sewing bags like this using their leather. This needle case is made from horn and bone. The thread is made from the sinew of the animals. The Sami have a pact with the reindeer. Once upon a time, a reindeer was hunted by a predator. It sought protection, and the Sami vowed to protect it. The reindeer said, "You have to promise me 3 things. 1, give me a nice death. 2, use everything I have. And 3, always remember this." That's true respect.
Respect. Yeah.
Today, Nina is preparing traditional pancakes made with reindeer blood. She cooks them in the couple's quota, or hut. Per Ole practices joik, traditional Sami singing. It's said to contribute to their bond with the natural world.
If you yoik to evoke a reindeer, you practically become one yourself. The Sami used to ask the gods for good weather, food, whatever they needed. Then Christianity came along and yoiking was equated with devil worship. There were extremely harsh punishments for doing it. People were even executed.
Back at sea level, the Nordland Railway passes another fjord. This one is home to the Saltstraumen, a strait with the world's strongest tidal current. As the tide changes, 400 million cubic meters of water push this small gap. Henrik Markussen farms his own salt from the churning waters. Because of the Arctic climate, the process requires more than just letting the brine evaporate in the sun.
As far as we know, we run the northernmost salt works in the world. We're constantly looking for ways to reduce energy consumption. It's challenging and labour-intensive. Because of the cold temperatures here, the water is rarely contaminated. That's what makes the salt so good, so clean and fine. Salt is salt. But some kinds are better than others.
Henrik is getting ready for Norway's Midsummer Festival. He'll need some food to go with his high-quality salt.
Here in the far north, we have to make sure that we can live off our resources. That's why it's important that we use them respectfully and sustainably. We want to preserve them for future generations.
Henrik will prepare vegetables and fish from the Saltstraumen. It's the Nordland Railway's final stretch. Bodø is the capital of Nordland. The port town lies at the mouth of a fjord. After a 10-hour journey, the train pulls into Bodø just 5 minutes later than scheduled.
Everything went well. There's beautiful nature along the route. Now I'm off to bed.
Midsummer is an important time for Norwegians. On June 23rd, they celebrate the Feast of St. Hans. It's believed to be the eve of the birth of John the Baptist.
You're sitting so far from the fire.
Hallo.
I've brought the fish, wrapped in foil.
Midsummer's Eve sees both Christian and pagan customs.
These are pretty flowers.
That's meadowsweet.
What's this one?
Hedgebed straw and red clover. And this is cranesbill.
How long should it be?
This long?
No, not that long.
You have to have 7 different kinds of flowers in the wreath. Then, when you go to sleep tonight, you'll dream of the man you're going to marry. Will you put it on? What a wonderful midsummer's night.
It's the high point of the year, the longest day.
Delicious.
When I grew up, in the summer, people would say, you can go to bed when it gets dark, and that could take a month.
When
the weather's good, we drop everything and enjoy it as much as we can, because it can change quickly.
Det skjer fort.